Welcome to the Mitchell Hawks podcast, sponsored by Kurt's Coolers. This is where we discuss past and future events for the Mitchell Hawks. Now here's your host, Scott Bridge.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first ever episode of the Mitchell Hawks podcast. My name is Stevie Dahm. I will be the show's producer. Alongside me is our co-host and Mitchell Hawks GM, Scott Bridge. Before we get started, let's go over how this show is going to work. Each week, we will be posting a new episode of the podcast. Each episode will consist of 3 segments. Segment 1 will be the week that was, where we will recap all games and team events from the previous week. The second segment will be the week to come, where we will preview upcoming matchups and community events involving our Mitchell Hawks. And finally, our last segment will be our guest interview, where we will interview past and present members of the Mitchell Hawks roster, coaching staffs, and members of the Mitchell Hawks organization, where we will talk to them about their experiences with the team. Now we have that out of the way. Let's get into our first segment. The week that was, sponsored by JMS Automotive. Saturday night, the Hawks had a game versus the Walkerton Capitals where they won with a final score of 3-0. The Hawks were led to victory with goals from Jonathan Tenhang, Andrew Geisber, and Talbot Geiger, as well as a 29-save shutout from Bradley Beauville, this being his second shutout in a row. Very even game throughout the first 2 periods of play, but you could tell Walkerton was worn out in the third due to lack of players, as they had only 14 skaters and 1 goalie. Scott, what did you see in that game from Mitchell that helped them get that victory?
It was a solid game from start to finish. Like you said, it was pretty even through the first period. Back and forth action. That's probably when Walkerton had their legs the most for that game. Got to give kudos to Logan Bromley, their goaltender. We've faced him, I think, 5 times this year already, and Logan always seems to play real strong against us. And I've watched him play the majority of his junior career when he was even with Wingham, and good goaltender. Wish they would have given him a little more support. He deserves a little better in Walkerton this year, but I think that he's really holding his ground. That game could have been 5-6-0 if it wasn't for Logan standing on his head for Walkerton. And on the other end, Bradley Beauville, our goaltender, back-to-back shutouts. Like you said, he had a shutout the weekend before against the Wingham Ironmen, and then steps in and plays a real solid, sound, well-positioned game. He didn't look at a position at all. He was hanging on to pucks, not kicking out rebounds. That goes a long ways. And obviously your defense are going to have a lot more confidence when you're not kicking rebounds out like that. So Beauville played great. Our defense played great. And it was nice to see some secondary scoring as well. Geiger getting 1. Obviously Dietz getting an assist on that goal as well. So that line in the third period, just 2 minutes in, gave us the insurance goal that we needed to go up 3-0 and secure the victory. So
now Bovey, he started the season in Junior B playing out in Niagara, and then he came back mid-season. That's correct. Is that correct?
Yep, that's correct.
So what was it like to have him come back and just kind of steady everything out a little bit?
It was he's a nice addition to have. Obviously, being a local boy, being from Mitchell, playing with the Hawks last year, being a part of that championship team, he solidified a spot on the roster. And what we're all about here, and what I'm all about, and what I'm going to try to continue to do with my time here at the Hawks, is try to get players to the next level. We're not here to hold them back. We're not here to be selfish and say, no, we want you to play junior C hockey. We want to move every single player that we can to the next level. And that's what we did with Bradley. Is he got the opportunity to play B, and basically the conversation with him went, if anything happens, let us know. You'll always have a spot here in Mitchell.
Right.
And that's the conversation that he had with management last year. And that's the conversation I was told that went on in the off season. So when that opportunity came for him to come back, we had to make some real tough moves as we had Declan Jermal backing up, who's really good goaltender as well. Played U18 with Mitchell last year, so he's got some ties to town, and just a great kid all around. So trying to find him a home was the number one thing, and then
Right.
bringing Bradley back has been nice. He's undefeated since coming back, and he's played solid hockey, and he's going to have a couple tough tests ahead of him here too as well.
Right. So now on to Monday's game. The Hawks were on the road versus the Wingham Ironmen, where the Hawks fell to the Ironmen 2-0. The game overall was a very even game. However, two costly turnovers early in the second period led to both Wingham goals, but from Lohenberg and Stanbury. It was Josh Jacklin in net for this one for the Hawks. Despite the loss, Jacklin looked very solid in this one, making 33 saves on 35 shots. For the Ironman, it was Garrett Gooley in net. He recorded his league-leading 9th shutout of the season, making all 22 saves. What did you see in that game, Scott?
I just saw us fall asleep for a few minutes at the beginning of the second period, and within a minute 30 into the second, you're down 2-0. When I thought we played a pretty solid first period for being thin throughout the lineup. We were missing our top three centers in that game, Stevie. So it was
That's always tough.
It's tough, and especially when you're matching up against Wingham's lines. I feel like we've matched up against them quite well this year, and Stanbury's a tough cookie. I put him as one of the top forwards in the whole division, and I think that's being pretty light. I think he probably top three players in the division. So he steals the puck in front of the net under a minute in, and strips our defenseman of the puck and puts it in behind Jacklin, who was just a little caught off guard, I guess. And then within 30 seconds later, Noah Bloomberg makes it 2-0, and then we just couldn't get Jacklin any support after that. You know, obviously we were shut out, and golly, you're right, 9th shutout of the year. That's just unreal in this division with how talented the division is. We're probably in the toughest division in the PJHL, and there's golly posting 9 shutouts. So great local talent that they've got there in Wingham, but we need to play better. That hands down, if we want to do anything here in the playoffs. If we have showings like that on Monday, we're not going to get very far. The coaching staff and I had a great conversation after the game. We thought we saw a lot of great things from our young players who had the opportunity to get some extra ice time, and I thought they all stepped up and did a great job. It's just a matter of time until some pucks start going in the back of the net here, but it's crunch time now with us getting towards the end of the season.
Right. So now we're on to our second portion, which is the week to come, sponsored by Feeney Design and Build. This weekend, the Hawks will be on the road Friday night as they will play the Hanover Barons at 8 p.m. As we approach the playoffs, we continue to fight with the Barons for second place in the North Pollock Division. What are you looking for from the team in that one?
We need scoring. We need scoring bad. Obviously, we've touched on our defense and our goaltending, and we're solid there. We need some scoring up front. It's we've beat them in overtime 1-0, and this year, and we know we don't want too many more of those battles. I think we'd love to have a 3-4-1 lead going into the third period. That would be fantastic. But we need to score 3, 4, 5 goals against Hanover if we want a chance to win. They've got a lot of firepower up front. Riley McCabe, obviously, we're probably going to see him on Friday as they're trying to secure second and still go for first place. So it'll be a tough game with Riley being in net and Hanover's defense. So short answer, we need goals. We need goals, right. And we need goals. It's anything less than that's a disappointment.
For sure, 100%. So then on Sunday, the Hawks will be at home to host the Kincardine Bulldogs at 3:30 p.m. Make sure you guys come out and support the team. You guys, this is a potential playoff matchup for you guys. With you guys are currently sitting in the 3rd spot, and Kincardine's currently sitting in the 5th spot. You guys currently have a 1-point lead over that that spot there in third over the Ironmen, and for whatever reason, the Ironmen end up taking that spot. The matchup will be you guys and the Bulldogs. So, are you looking for like a playoff type atmosphere on Sunday afternoon, or like what are you looking for the boys on that one?
Yeah, it's gonna be almost like a playoff game. I don't expect anything less. The Bulldogs are a great hockey club. They're well coached. Todd Norman really has that team firing on all cylinders. I really see the Kincardine Bulldogs a much better team than what their record shows. They've lost quite a number of 1-goal games that they really could have won and probably deserved to win. So the Bulldogs, anybody that plays them in the first round is probably going to go 6 or 7 games. I wouldn't expect anything less. They're a tough opponent. We don't want to play them, so we like to finish a little bit higher. As again, well coached. They've got great systems. They've got a lot of talent up front. And some snipers that can bite you in the butt when you're if you're not paying attention. So we expect we hope to have a full house in Mitchell, and the Kincardine Bulldogs fans travel well. So I'm pretty sure that a pile of them will be coming down from Kincardine as well to cheer the boys on. And also they've got some local talent the Listowel way. So people will be driving up from Listowel to cheer on the Bulldogs as well. So it should be an exciting game, and we've had some real close games with them, and some games really that probably shouldn't have been as tight as they were. But that just goes to show you the firepower that they have on their side.
It'll definitely be an interesting matchup considering like the potential playoff implications for sure. Just one thing I want to mention before we move on to our guest for the show. Coming up on May 13th, the second annual Mitchell Hawks Pork Dinner will be hosted. Takeout will be from 4:30 to 5 p.m. and sit down will be from 5 to 7 at the Mitchell Community Center. The dinner will include a pork chop, baked potato, baked beans, coleslaw, a bun, and dessert. The cost for this meal will be $25 per ticket. The tickets will be available for any exclusive members, Mitchell Tire, or call or text Cory Broughton at 509-275-4250. Again, 509-275-4250. Now on to our guest portion of this podcast. We have rookie forward Dawson Dietz. Dawson has played 31 games this season, recorded 6 points so far in those games. Welcome to the show, Dawson.
Hey, thanks for having me.
How's it going today, buddy?
I'm doing good.
What's it like? So this year you are one of the few members to make that jump from the Mitchell midget team to, I guess, U19 now, to the Hawks. What's it been like making that adjustment from minor hockey to junior C?
Obviously, it's a big adjustment jumping from midget to junior. It's a lot quicker. You don't usually have as much time as you do in midget with the puck. You have to make a lot more quick decisions. Like you can't be holding on to it for that extra second. Yeah, basically the speed of the game, and just you always have to have your head on a swivel, and always have to be ready to take a hit because it's a pretty physical league. So you just have to always make quick plays, and that's about it.
So, what has been your favorite part of being a Hawk so far? Obviously, being your first season.
I would have to say probably just the community and the team itself. We have a great group of guys, and they're always inviting, and they're always there to like help you learn something. And the coaches always help you if you're doing something. If you ever need help with something, they're always there for you. And every single game, you always get good crowds, and playing in front of all my friends usually come to the games, and family, and so it's always good to play in front of your hometown.
Obviously, at this point of hockey in the junior C level, it's a lot of it is about the memories you make and the people you meet So far, what has been your best memory as a Hawk?
That's kind of tough. I'd have to say probably playing my first game. I was in the preseason. I got injured, and that kind of set me back a few weeks. So that kind of sucked. So when I got to play my first game, and in Walkerton, that just felt good to put the uniform on and play for the Mitchell Hawks and just do what I could to help the team.
Now, did you play all of your minor hockey here in Mitchell for the Meteors?
Yes, I did.
So my question is on that would be, what does it mean to you to be a homegrown player for the Hawks?
It feels good to finally be on the Mitchell Hawks. Every kid who plays Mitchell minor hockey, I believe, has the dream to play for the Mitchell Hawks, as they're always at the games cheering. I was that kid when I was little, coming to all the games and watching them, and I always said one day I'm going to play for them, and look where I am now. So all the kids that have the dream to play for them, just keep working, and you could possibly end up here.
Now, your dad was a Hawks player as well as a coach. Is that correct?
Yes, he was.
Has he been influential on your motivation for the Hawks, or is it something that you just kind of came to as a kid watching the games?
Oh, for sure. When he used to coach the Hawks, I would always come to the games, and I'd be allowed to come into the room and just chill in there, meet some of the players, and I saw how cool it was to be in the room. Like, I don't know, made some good friends when he coached. Brock Byer was one of my buddies when he coached. Good goalie. And yeah, just being around just the atmosphere when I was little and watching games all the way up to now, just really influenced me to want to work and try to get here.
So last season you played 2 playoff games for the Hawks. Is that right?
Yes.
What was that atmosphere like? Because obviously they had a heavy veteran presence, and they ended up going all the way to win the Pollock division. Like, what was that atmosphere and that experience like?
It was very, very surreal. I didn't expect to be playing in a playoff game, but I was watching the Hawks all last year in the playoffs and saw how good they were doing, and saw they were getting a little banged up, and I was kind of just thinking, okay, I might need to be ready to go, and then I ended up getting a call to go to Stainer, and I was all hyped up because that meant a lot to me and felt good to play, and just it was a really good experience for me.
Now this year you've definitely solidified as an everyday member of the team. There's about 4 games left in this season. What excites you about this upcoming playoff from now being like an everyday player?
Just to be able to do it from the very start. This year, like we built a very good team to hopefully go back to back. So we have the skill, we have the defense, we have the goalies, and I'm just very excited to be here for the full playoffs and hopefully go on a big run and play in front of my home crowd, maybe fill the barn, and hopefully we can bring back another Pollock championship.
That's great. Scott, do you have anything you want to ask Dawson while he's here?
Yeah, he's saying all the right things. It's fantastic. I hope all the other boys are right on the same page as you there, Dietzy. Yeah, just one kind of want to pick your brain a little bit. You played last year with Voss and Geiger, and what have you seen in their games, guys that you played U18 with to this year? As guys grow that extra, as they get another year older and play against different competition, what have you seen with your buddies that you played U18 with?
I'll start with Guides. Me and him played last year, forward sometimes on lines, and we weren't the biggest guys on the ice in midget, but over the off season, me and Talbot got bigger, went to the gym, got stronger, and Talbot's he's just became more of a threat. His shot's been there as he's got like 6-7 goals this year, and he's been really really smart in the offensive zone as he was in midget. He's carried that over. Voss has always been a very good defensive player. Sorry. He was our top defenseman last year, and his jump to junior hasn't changed that at all. He's still very physical and just has really good vision and hockey sense on that back end.
And we even had to throw him on forward as well this year because
even as a forward, I played with him the 3 games on forward, and he's done everything right. Like I'm surprised. Like if I got thrown back on defense, I'd be like, what the heck? Yeah. What am I supposed to do out here? But he didn't seem out of place at all.
Yeah, it's not easy change positions like that, and then to play solid and be positionally sound. It's definitely not easy, and it kind of feels at some time this year that we're just as banged up as last year too, right? At times this year, so it's been tough. But no, our young guys have done a great job filling the roles as they've needed to. It's not easy, and you can never predict anything, and they've done a great job.
Well, thank you, Dawson, for coming on the show. It was much appreciated. Be sure to come out and support Dawson and the boys this weekend as well as the rest of the season as we approach the playoffs. So thank you, Dawson.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, DC.
That will wrap up our show for today. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for our next episode. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notifications so you'll know when we post. Be sure to come out and support the boys if you're willing to drive to Hanover at 8 p.m. on Friday. And make sure you fill the barn here in Mitchell, 3:30 Sunday afternoon against Kincardine. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.